Hello, my name is Pat Jacobberger. I'm a judge for the Cat Fanciers Association. In fact, I'm a judge emeritus, which is a title given to a retired judge. I retired about a couple of years ago. At any rate, I want to thank the Half Moon Club, virtual cat competition folks, for inviting me to judge this fun ring. This fun ring is titled Fuzz Off 2020, which I believe is a direct command to the year 2020. But anyway, this is my final. I had 50-something entries in Fuzz Off. The competition was mostly entered by cats with interesting and strange coats or lack thereof. And so I was given the privilege of picking my top 15, although I have to say that I liked every single one of them. We'll move right on with our final for that competition. But before we do that, we want to stop and thank our sponsors, Zybox, which is a coat product that you can find in many venues, many outlets, but also all of our other sponsors. Of course, without sponsors, you can't hold these kind of competitions, because even though we're not renting a show hall and flying judges in from all over the place, they're still expensive. So we want to thank our sponsors and encourage you to stop by and check them out. So here we go on to Fuzz Off 2020. Here, first, my 15th best entrant in this competition is a short-haired Selkirk Rex. I believe it's a bicolor. I can see a little smudge of black up here on the top, although often with pure white kittens, you will find a little thumbprint on the top of their heads that's present until their adult coat comes in. But a Selkirk Rex is basically not a mutant of the Cornish Rex. It's its own mutation. And here we have a short-haired one, which suggests that there might be long-haired ones. And if you made that guess, you would be correct. At any rate, our 15th best entry in the Fuzz Off 2020. My 14th best is the black and white Cornish Rex. And you can see that the coat looks very different from our last kitten, or our last cat, which was a short hair Selkirk Rex. It's a more organized coat. It's a more organized wave or curl. At any rate, I was particularly taken by the alertness of this cat and the beautiful arch to the back, the length of leg, and this is my 14th best cat in Fuzz Off 2020. Lucky 13 is this black solid color Cornish Rex. And here in this photo, you can see the very, very nice, tightly marcelled wave coat. And you can see the light coming off, bouncing off of it, gives it a really nice, shiny look. It's a beautiful cat, and my 13th best. My 12th best, yet another Cornish Rex, is a what we call a calico van. A van is a bicolor pattern where most of the cat is white, except for color on the head and the tail, and maybe one or two body spots. At any rate, she is a lovely example of the Cornish Rex, and she is my 12th best in Fuzz Off 2020. My 11th best cat is another Cornish Rex. You should know that they were the most plentifully entered cats in this category. This is a solid blue. I know that a lot of people think of this as gray, the color-wise, but we call it blue in the cat fancy. At any rate, I was particularly taken by this photo because it brings together almost all of the very interesting components of the Cornish Rex breed standard. The nice high arch back, you can see how high that arch is, and the tuck up, this is what they call a tuck up. that little narrow waist tucked up high. The length of leg here is astounding. The length of tail is equally nice. And I love these ears. They're set very nicely on the head. The oval shaped eye is there. So you get a snapshot immediately of the standard of the Cornish Rex, at any rate, my 11th best in show. 10th best, now this is a breed that many of you may not have seen. It's a Lycoi. And this is a newer breed in CFA. I handled them primarily in household pets initially, and then when they became a miscellaneous breed in CFA, I handled them maybe once or twice. So I don't know a whole lot about the breed, but I do know that the way that the hair is placed on the face kind of gives them a little werewolf look. So they often refer to this as the werewolf cat. But they're very affectionate, very sweet cats. And in this case, he is my 10th best Fuzz off 2020. 9th best, yet another Cornish Rex, this time a solid colored white. And you can see the beautiful Marcel wave to the coat. Interestingly enough, you can see them Marcelling on the tail as well. Often in Cornish Rex, the tail is a little bit sparse as far as hair goes, but this cat has plentiful coat, and you can see the Marcel wave there. Love the shape of the eyes here. An oval shape to the eyes, what the standard calls for. But 9th best Fuzz off. Here we have a short-haired Selkirk Rex. He's a little bit more mature than our 15th best cat was. And so you can appreciate the coat a little bit better. It's in the short hair, it's somewhat disorganized. This is not a flat-lying coat or a sleek coat. It should have some density to it. But he looks like he is totally intrigued by whatever the photographer is holding in front of him. And today he's my 8th best Fuzz off 2020. Another Cornish Rex, this time a tortoiseshell in white, and a beautiful arch to the back, nice tuck up here, length of leg. I like the way she's looking at the photographer. She's really engaged in whatever he is doing, and she's caught in the moment. It's a beautiful photo of a beautiful cat, and she's 7th best Fuzz off 2020. 6th best is a Selkirk Rex, a little older cat, a short hair, and you can see the coat here. While it's short, it's also disorganized. And by disorganized, we mean that it's not close-lying, it's not combed sleek, and it's a very, very dense coat, very soft to the touch. At any rate, she is a tortoiseshell in white, female, as any tortoiseshell would be. She has beautiful width across the face. I love the short little legs. I love the width across her chest. And today she's 6th best in Fuzz off 2020. 5th best in Fuzz off 2020 is a long-haired Selkirk Rex. Now you can see the real disorganization of those curls in the longer haired specimen. This is a blue solid color. I love the nice fancy plume to his tail. I love all the fancy curling around his throat and up to his neck. He's caught in the moment, staring off into space, but he's a lovely example of the Selkirk Rex and 5th best. 4th best doesn't have any hair at all. Oh my gosh, how could that happen? This is what we call a Sphinx. And the Sphinx is a hairless cat. Although if you look closely at this photo, you can see that the cat has a little bit of hair on the back of the ears. You can see it across the bridge of the nose. He's young. As he gets older, you'll be able to see a little bit of hair across the knuckles. There are other varieties of Sphinx in the domestic cat group that are totally hairless. But in this case, the Sphinx has just a little bit of fuzz, and for that, he is my 4th best in Fuzz Off 2020. 3rd best is a Cornish Rex, black and white bicolor. I love the inverted V. Now this isn't in the standard, so they don't really care about, you know, what kind of white is on the face, but I judged for several years, and I've been in the cat fancy for 50 years, roughly. I can tell you that at one point in time, all bicolors had to have some semblance of that inverted V, no matter what their breed. At any rate, I love the very, very close coat and the Marcel wave and how it's arranged. A very alert looking cat. My Cornish Rex, black and white Cornish Rex, is a 3rd best in Fuzz Off 2020. Oh, another Sphinx, this time 2nd best in Fuzz Off 2020. Here we have a black and white bicolor, and you can see in this photo, you can appreciate the hair across the nose. Very, very common. We can't see the back of your ear, but along the edge, you can see a little bit of hair. So these cats are not totally hairless, the Sphinx. They're, for the most part, they are. One of the things that attracted me to this cat is you can see the wrinkling. The standard calls for these wrinkles, and the more the better. She's got wrinkled forehead, she's got a wrinkled neck rather, but she also has these wonderful lemon-shaped eyes. And you know, when we talk about the shape of a cat's eyes, we're talking about the aperture. So the eyelids that close the eye off, the shape of those, and you can see her nice high cheekbones here and that nice whisker braid. She's a lovely example of the Sphinx, and she's my 2nd best in the Fuzz Off 2020. Drum roll for best in Fuzz Off 2020, a short-haired Selkirk Rex. I love the shape of this cat's body and her, the leg proportion, the width across her chest. She's a tortoiseshell and white. You might see tabby markings in here, and that's not unusual in the tortoiseshell pattern. She has a little bit up here in the red as well. You know, underneath it all, cats are tabbies. At any rate, I love her alert expression. She's obviously got a bead on something that the photographer is holding to get her attention. It's a lovely picture. It's a lovely cat. And she's my best in the Fuzz Off 2020. And I want to thank you all for your attention and for visiting my final. Have a great day.